You don't wake up one day and feel old. It sneaks up, one ignored symptom at a time. This is the story of how age changed 3 lives and how they almost missed the signs. Jake leaned back in his chair, eyes glued to the glowing screen. 30 years old, a decent job in marketing, a gym membership he used twice a week when he wasn't exhausted. He still felt young, strong, maybe a little bloated after meals, but who didn't get that these days? What he didn't notice were the subtle changes creeping in. His jeans were tighter, but it wasn't muscle. He blamed the desk job. His sleep was shallow, often waking up groggy. Caffeine became his best friend. Still, Jake laughed it off. He was only 30. Prime of life, right? Then came the panic attack. Out of nowhere, in a grocery store. Heart racing, palms sweating, vision tunneling. He thought it was a heart attack. Paramedics arrived. It wasn't cardiac. It was stress and gut inflammation. The ER doctor said, "Do you drink?" The doctor asked. "Socially?" Jake replied, "Caffeine? Yeah, maybe 4 cups a day." And just like that, Jake learned the truth. His body was no longer 20. His cortisol levels were high. His gut microbiome was off balance. His testosterone had dipped slightly, affecting sleep, focus, even mood. Your body starts changing at 30, the doctor explained. Most people don't realize it until something snaps. Jake walked out feeling different, not physically but mentally. He wasn't invincible anymore, and neither are we. Maria stood in front of the bathroom mirror, dabbing concealer under her eyes. Her once glowing skin looked dull, tired. She tugged gently at the lines forming near her mouth. "When did this happen?" she whispered at 40. Maria wasn't unhealthy. She ate well, stayed active chasing her 2 kids, and tried to meditate, even if only during traffic jams. But lately, something was off. Her periods had become unpredictable. Some months were heavy and painful. Others skipped entirely. She'd gained 12 pounds in a year, despite sticking to her usual routine. She even started forgetting words mid-sentence during client meetings. Brain fog, they called it point one evening, after losing her cool over a spilled cup of juice. Maria broke down in the laundry room, tears soaked into the pile of unmatched socks. She felt like a stranger in her own body. Her doctor ran blood tests. "You're in perimenopause, Maria," she said gently. "It can start in your 40s, even late 30s for some." Maria blinked. "I thought menopause was something for older women." "It's not just about periods stopping," the doctor explained. "Your estrogen levels fluctuate wildly before they drop. That's what's messing with your mood, memory, and even metabolism." She learned her muscle mass was shrinking. Her metabolism had slowed. She was at a higher risk for insulin resistance. And her sleep, fragmented and light, was affecting her memory and patience. Maria felt angry at first. Why didn't anyone warn her? Why weren't women taught this in school? Then she felt relief. At least she wasn't going crazy. This was science, biology, normal but unspoken. She started lifting weights, not just to stay fit, but to fight bone loss. She cut back on wine, took magnesium for sleep, and most importantly, she joined an online group of women navigating the same path. Her body was different. But she wasn't broken. She was becoming something new. Maria's story echoes in countless homes. But what happens when the 40s pass and the signs become harder to ignore? Robert had always been the tough guy, a former high school athlete, a weekend golfer, and someone who proudly grilled steaks with one hand while holding a beer in the other. He turned 50 with a shrug. Age is just a number, he'd say. But behind the jokes was a growing list of symptoms he brushed off. Frequent urination at night, a stubborn belly that refused to shrink no matter how much he walked, occasional chest tightness that he blamed on bad burritos, and the weirdest one, he couldn't remember the names of people he'd worked with for years. The real scare came one morning while tying his shoes. He stood up too quickly and blacked out, just for a second. But it was enough. His wife insisted he see a doctor. Tests followed. Heart function, cholesterol, prostate markers, blood sugar. The verdict: prediabetes, hypertension, and an enlarged prostate. The trifecta of the 50s, the doctor called it. But I'm not overweight, Robert argued. I walk every day. You are doing a lot right, the doctor admitted. But age changes the game. Your body becomes less efficient. Blood vessels stiffen. Testosterone drops, affecting energy, fat storage, even mood. The word andropause was new to him. Male menopause? He laughed it off until he learned the symptoms. Fatigue, irritability, low libido, muscle loss. It all fit. Then came the kicker. His coronary artery calcium score was borderline high. That's plaque, the doctor said. Silent now, but a warning sign. Robert went quiet. Heart attacks ran in his family. He thought he had time, but time, it seemed, was now asking him to pay attention. That week, he changed everything. Out went red meat-heavy dinners. In came leafy greens, healthy fats, long walks, and resistance bands. He saw a therapist, not for mental illness, but to understand why aging scared him so much. 50 wasn't the end. But it was a wake-up call. I used to think aging meant slowing down, he told a friend. Now I realize it just means listening harder to what your body's been whispering all along. Robert's realization is something many men and women hit at 50. It's not about being weak. It's about being wise. Claire stood in the park watching her granddaughter chase butterflies. The sun glowed against the little girl's hair, and for a moment, Claire forgot about the aching in her knees. Then she tried to sit down and winced. I used to run marathons, she muttered to herself, D53. Claire felt like her body had turned against her. Her joints cracked, her energy dipped by noon, and even small tasks like climbing stairs left her winded. She didn't recognize the woman in the mirror anymore. Her skin sagged, her hair thinned, and her waistline had expanded despite her modest diet. She started telling herself what so many people do after 50. It's too late. I've missed the chance to be healthy. But one evening, scrolling through her phone, she stumbled upon a post from a 67-year-old woman who had reversed her type 2 diabetes through plant-based eating and daily walking. Another man in his 60s had gained muscle after decades of being sedentary. Something clicked. Claire made a deal with herself. Not to become someone else, not to chase youth, but to reclaim her strength. She began small. 10-minute stretches each morning, then daily walks, then light strength training with water bottles. Her diet shifted gradually, less processed food, more fiber and lean proteins. She added turmeric and omega-3s for joint health. She joined a dance class not for exercise, but for joy. The results weren't instant, but within 6 months, her pain eased. Her energy climbed, her confidence returned. Her doctor was stunned. Claire, your cholesterol's down, blood pressure's steady, and you've lost 10 pounds with muscle gain. She smiled. I stopped believing that the best years were behind me. What surprised Claire most wasn't the physical changes, it was the emotional ones. She felt alive, empowered, capable, not despite her age, but because of everything she had learned. She became the unofficial wellness coach for her book club, shared recipes, taught chair yoga, and most importantly, told every woman who'd ever felt forgotten that it is never too late to rewrite your story. Claire's story proves that aging isn't a finish line. It's a turning point. The real danger isn't in growing older. It's in giving up too soon. 3 lives, 3 decades. One undeniable truth: your body talks if you listen. Jake at 30 thought he was too young for serious health issues. He didn't see stress, inflammation, and fatigue as warnings, but they were, and catching them early spared him years of burnout and anxiety. Maria at 40 was blindsided by perimenopause. Her body didn't betray her. It was transitioning, evolving. Once she understood the biological shifts, she stopped feeling ashamed and started taking control. Robert at 50 faced the hard facts. His heart, hormones, and habits were no longer aligned, but he had the courage to change, even when the numbers on his blood test scared him. And Claire shattered the myth that too late exists. At 53, she proved that health is not just a gift, it's a skill, and it can be rebuilt. Our bodies speak in whispers before they scream. That afternoon crash at 30 could be blood sugar imbalance or early adrenal fatigue. Those memory lapses at 40, it might not be just stress, it could be hormonal changes affecting cognition. That snoring at 50 could be sleep apnea impacting your heart and brain health. These aren't random quirks, they're notifications from your biology. But here's the twist: aging isn't a decline. It's an upgrade. If you know how to work with IT.I in your 30s, it's about building habits that buffer stress and protect your metabolism.I in your 40s. It's about adjusting to changing hormones, prioritizing strength over cardio, and protecting sleep like your life depends on it, because it does.I in your 50s. It's about tuning in, not tuning out. Managing your health, it reveals how well you've cared for IT. So whether you're 30, 40, or 50, you are not powerless. You are not past your prime. You are at a crossroads, and every small change, every conscious decision, adds years to your life and life to your years. Your body is speaking. The only question is, are you listening?